Man, it's such a bummer that the live stream was canceled yesterday and moved. But you're probably wondering, well, Robbie, what does that mean for the actual update itself? Are we still getting the April update, the Sunken Stronghold, at the end of the month, or has that been completely delayed? So some new insights into that. So hey everyone, what's up? Open World Games here. Hope you all are doing good, and yeah, let's begin. Let's dive straight in here. So yes, the live stream was canceled yesterday. It was moved to April 23rd due to some unforeseen connection issues. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about this, but officially what we do know from AJ and Jesse from the community management team on Anthem is they said that fiber line was cut somewhere outside the building, and it's going to take some time to actually repair that. This has literally happened to me. It happened to me last year, and it happens at the worst time possible. And it does take like couple days. It could even take a week for that sort of thing to be fixed, and you're like kind of like in disbelief that something like that can happen, but it can, and it's extremely frustrating. But good news here is that this all has no impact on the release date of the game update for April, so this is completely unrelated. So good news there. You can expect the actual April update, the Sunken Stronghold, to be released at the end of April. Now, I'm still personally worried about the entire update, even beyond the Sunken Stronghold, because they haven't really mentioned, hey, we're going to be going in depth with the mastery system. We're going to be talking about the new guild system and so on and so forth. In fact, Andrew Johnson said that the new live stream would be focused around the Sunken, and then a couple more details about the next game update. It wasn't like, well, we're, again, talking about the mastery system. And a lot of people were also worried out on Reddit about this, saying there's no way BioWare will meet the April roadmap. So I'm also really worried. And he actually lays it out here. To all those holding out hope for the next stream patch, time to reconsider. Here's everything that was promised. Mastery system, new items, 7 new free play events. Maybe these went live, I can never tell. Second wave of legendary missions, new Stronghold, weekly Stronghold challenge, leaderboard implementation, and guild implementation. So a lot of stuff that they haven't even spoke about, and we're getting into more and more into late April here. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if several components to the April update were actually delayed into the next update, and that's something that I wouldn't be surprised about at all. But yeah, expect news about what's going on with everything here on April 23rd. Now, a lot of you guys are like, can Anthem really recover? Now, you guys know that me and my bro Ryan cover Star Wars Battlefront 2, and during that launch, it was a nightmare. Like, that was an absolute nightmare. It was as bad as what's been happening with Anthem, and right now, it's pretty shocking what is happening with Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's so interesting because this is the community manager on Battlefront 2. He says, I'm glad Dennis shared the population details publicly. In case you missed it, our population is now as high as it was in our launch month, which just blew my mind. And also on PSN, it's like in the top 10 selling PS4 games right now, which is just unreal to me. No one would ever be convinced during the launch of Battlefront 2 that that would ever happen again. You know what I mean? That Battlefront 2 could recover. So, hopefully they can get Anthem in shape here. Even with the delayed live stream, I just want them to get the updates right. A lot of us want the updates to be done right, of course, going forward. So hopefully they're hard at work in the trenches on that sort of stuff. Now, I did a video about new hires for BioWare related to the loot systems. And it was kind of meshed in with the Borderlands 3 video. And a lot of you guys did not see this news, actually. There's been actually some new hirings for Anthem recently, and one of them includes an item and creation designer. It says, BioWare is looking for a creative and passionate systems designer. It says, this is an important role in a looter shooter like Anthem. The systems designer is responsible for creating a system of itemization that players can understand, but they are also responsible for creating interesting and compelling choices with the combat team. They also ensure that the properties on items work in the way intended. So if you missed that news, it looks like they're going to be hiring someone that really understands more than likely the inscriptions and how everything is working. Because you guys know that a lot of stuff just doesn't seem right with some of the inscriptions. Sometimes stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. So they're going to have a whole new person come in and really manage that sort of thing, it looks like. And that also includes abilities and stuff like that. They are also looking for a store and reward pipeline, so someone to manage that with store management and reward pipelines. They want them to join their studio in Austin or Edmonton to work on our newest IP, Anthem. This is really interesting. It says the role handles both store flow and creation, also ensuring not just the data that comes from managing the store, but also the flow of all rewards in the game, so the game has compelling rewards in every avenue offered by the experience. This role also reviews access to the types of items that come in through the pipeline to ensure via data that players are getting what they want. So, as you guys know, that's been a huge issue with this game, of course, especially with the vanity chest. I've mentioned that several times. You guys know that, and some of you are like, "Stop mentioning the vanity chest." Well, it's good that we all have been talking about it because they've noticed for sure, and they are getting someone in here to actually address that issue. So hopefully, like in the next 6 months, we're like, wow, Anthem's actually turning out to be a freaking great game. That would be wonderful. When I'm serious, I would revisit this game more and more if you hear like really good news about it, because for me the gameplay is that good. But also they are looking for someone for combat balance, which was really interesting. I feel like combat is pretty good in the game, but they also mentioned that this is going to be a role responsible for moment-to-moment tuning of the game, ensuring that the player and monster abilities are equivalent in ways players understand. This role will work closely with the item designers to ensure their assumptions about the player power matches the awesome items in the game. So, yeah, they're really looking to rework this game. It's such a bummer that they have to start, but it seems like they're starting from scratch considering that they're hiring so many new people with this game. Or you know, a lot of people are wondering, you know, are they already planning Anthem 2? And that's another thing as well, because I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the conceptualization stages, I guess you would say, of Anthem 2 right now, and really talking about what needs to be done going forward with Anthem as a franchise. But you guys also may know that they are looking for a loot designer. I did an entire standalone video about that one. That's something you probably already know. So yeah, they're going to be reworking that loot system as well, and it's definitely something that needs to get done ASAP. But yes, let's go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. I actually have a question for you all that have stayed this far into the video. Are you guys receiving my Borderlands 3 videos in your, you know, news feed, your subscription feeds, as a recommended video on here on YouTube? Just let me know if you guys are interested in Borderlands 3 content as well. I'm extremely curious what you guys have to say about that. I'm really looking forward to Borderlands 3, and I've been covering it as much as possible on the channel. But I really want to make sure you guys are getting those videos. But let's do this. Let's talk about top comments. So the first comment comes from Epic Coins, who says, I think there should be a big chest at the end of every stronghold with a specific armor piece, like Tyrant Mines, Scorpion Armor, or the Heart of Rage offering, like Fury Armor. And then the Temple of Scar would the current Scar armor set. Now that would be so cool. He says you could have Masterwork or Legendary versions of this, with Legendary having more color options or looks a little different. Maybe include an NPC in Fort Tarsis for each stronghold, which sells pieces of the armor. Also, the boss chest should have the highest percentage chance for loot. So, I absolutely love the idea. I'm in total agreement of like armor for specific bosses, armor, weapons, that sort of thing, tied to, you know, characters in the world. Even like armor dedicated to taking down Titans. So the armor would kind of mirror and tell a story that, oh my god, yes, this dude has definitely fought like the toughest war Titan out there. You can tell by the armor he's wearing. I think that sort of stuff people really would dig in Anthem going forward, because your armor pieces would actually have a story tied to the universe, to the world. I think that sort of thing would be really cool. Alright, so next one is from Koi Voy, who says this: 7 years in development, and they are just now trying to hire a person to do the loot. LOL. Yeah, I know, it's such a bummer that this has all happened. In fact, you know, I wanted to mention something about that. Anthem actually started out, it looked like, as a survival game where you would go into like lava pits or volcano, and you would have to have, you know, suits that could survive the environment, and then you would go into these places and find stuff to upgrade your suit so you can further survive. That sounded so freaking cool in my personal opinion, but it seemed like during development they're like, all right, we got to make it into looter shooter. So I think that's what kind of happened is in the beginning phases of development, the game kind of had an identity crisis. But I think it would be cool to have some of those aspects of the first, ideas for Anthem being more of like kind of where you're going into these dangerous places and you need to upgrade your suit to really survive them. I think that is a really neat idea. All right, next top comment is this. It's your boy Juice. He says, so this means they already started working on Anthem 2. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, again, they are actually doing concepts and stuff like that for Anthem 2. In fact, there was an interview where, one of the, it's not creative, well, one of the creative leads on Anthem was speaking about, if we have issues with Anthem 1 and there's stuff that we fell at and, we're trying to work on it with Anthem 1, well, we would end up doing an Anthem 2. That's basically the paraphrasing of what he said. And I wouldn't be surprised again if Anthem 2 does actually happen. So, Star Wars Battlefront 1, it was not well received. And then Star Wars Battlefront 2, I remember that was announced at E3 2017. They showed off stuff at 2017. And people were just hyped. And then it completely fell. Like, it was just like, I cannot believe how much of a failure it is. And same thing, I can't believe we're sitting here with the same situation again. My God. But, yeah, look out for more news, guys, about all things Anthem. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. Thank you all so much again for all the support and love on the videos. Really appreciate it. And look out for more live streams and, yes, and more videos. Check out my live streams, by the way, in the description below if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.